Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video and hope you guys are doing well today. Now, lots of people, especially since the Shaman deep dive video or podcast, have been asking about the Shamatonement, which someone called it that in the podcast, and I'm definitely stealing, spec and how you would play that. And I wanted to do a video talking about it, so let's get into it. So this is the spec that I run for it, and there's a couple of things that are very important in this, okay? So the first one is we only take 2 points in Focused Insight, but that's purely because we just don't have the points. It's quite a restrictive talent spec, okay? So we're going to go through 3 points in Tidal Focus. Again, the whole point is we're trying to minimize the amount of mana we spend on spells. We're going to go Spark of Life just because it is a crazy efficient talent. Water Shield is active. You receive mana back from direct heal crits. Now, Riptide counts, the initial heal from Riptide can count as a direct heal crit, so you can get it off that. Totemic Focus just means you're not putting your totems down as often, and if you have to move them, it isn't going to cost you as much. Focused Insight, I'll talk more about when I get into like the rotational stuff. Ancestral Healing, your critical heals, any critical heals by the way, reduce physical damage taken by 10% for 15 seconds. So, and heals you cast increase allies maximum health by 10%. So both bring amazing utility to the group. And yeah, I mean, you just want both. Nature's Swiftness, it's just a nice, panic button. Nature's Blessing increases the effectiveness of your direct heals on earth shielded targets. Now, this is quite a weird one because I've tried around taking the point out of this and putting it into Focused Insight. And it works. It does work if you wanted the stronger healing rains. But between this, Earth Shield, and your healing rain, I never have to heal a tank. So I do value it a lot. Obviously, soothing rains, you use both of these heavily, Healing Stream Totem and Healing Rain. Now, Improved Cleanse Spirit, you kind of have to have. You don't need to take the improved version, but you have to have Cleanse Spirit because there's just effects that you have to be able to remove. And if you don't have a optimal group comp, then you might have to be the one dispelling. Mana Tide Totem is just crazy. It's like Innovate for everyone. Telluric Currents is literally the reason the build works. Spirit Link Totem, I need to say no more, it's just broken. Blessing of the Elements gives an 80% chance to trigger your Earth Living heal over time effects when you heal an ally who is below 35% of total health. Now, one of the things that this build does really, really well, and I think is an underrated version of this build, is Earth Living. It applies it to everyone, and it's just like a hot that's going off on the group constantly, like a Reju from a Resto Druid or a Renew from a Priest, but it auto applies and it's constantly up. Tidal Waves, when you cast Chain Heal or Riptide, you gain the Tidal Waves effect. Now, you will be using single target heals and raid heals in panic moments. The idea of this spec is that during low healing phases, you get to 100% mana and you just sustain the group. And then you can burst heal for everything you need to, and then you recover it in the next chill phase, basically. And then obviously Riptide. Now, in Enhancement, we're going to take Elemental Weapons. It just increases the effect of Earth Living Weapon as well as the Unleash Elements ability. Both very, very nice for our build. And then in Elemental, we're going to go 2 in Acuity and 3 in Concussion, and then 3 in Elemental Precision. And the reason we're taking this is grants you spell hit rating equal to 100% of any spirit gained from items or effects. So if I look at my gear, yes, I'm in Firelands gear, but each piece that gives me spirit is actually going to contribute to my hit rating. So I have 19% hit rating, probably too much hit rating, if anything, on a Resto spec, so I can't miss, okay? Obviously, you're going to want that as a really key thing, just because you don't want to be missing Lightning Bolts. Now, Lightning Bolt in itself costs 1,406 mana, so you need to be doing 3,500, you can just see I've done some rudimentary maths, you need to be doing 3,500 damage to gain mana equality. That's probably the word. Obviously, anything you're doing more than that is just free mana. So you can see I'm hitting this target number for 6k. I haven't got raid buffs up. I haven't got anything else. So yes, I'm sat here in, Firelands gear, but even in first tier gear, you will be hitting harder than that. And then obviously consider raid buffs and things like that as well. Curse of Elements, you will be hitting like a truck. So you're going to get lots of mana back. Now, I'm going to go through the glyphs really quick. So the one that is like mandatory is Earth Living Weapon, increases the effectiveness of Earth Living Weapons periodic healing. God, that was the sentence to get out, wasn't it? Let's see if I can proc it on myself here. There we go, Earth Living. So it's like 1800 a tick, which, isn't amazing, but when the whole group has it, that's a lot. So you then have Riptide and Water Shield. Now, if your group's behaving and you are able to just pump out healing rains, and that's the majority of your healing, you can switch to either Unleash Lightning or Lightning Bolt instead of Riptide. But, it's personal preference. Riptide's still a very good option still. As part of your major glyphs, you then want Chain Heal, Healing Stream Totem, and I personally run Stoneclaw Totem, or you can run Healing Wave, which means when you use Healing Wave, it heals you for 20% of the effect you use to heal someone else. So pretty nice ability to self-heal as well. But yeah, so that's the talents and glyphs. Now, in terms of gameplay, it's very simple, okay? So I'm going to put my totems down. These will typically be the totems I'm running: Stone Skin, Flame Tongue, Healing Stream Totem, and Wrath of Air. Now, you can already see I'm healing myself for 1600 just on Healing Stream Totem. And that's going to be healing all party members, right? Which is already insane, okay? It's kind of crazy. You then get the fact that I'm going to be dropping healing rains. So you can see I've dropped down to 90% mana. Look how quickly I get my mana back. 93%. 94%. So I can just keep pumping, and I'm doing damage while I'm getting this. Now, I've got Ancestral Fortitude, so I'm taking 10% less damage. I've got Ancestral Vigor. I've got increased health. I can get Earth Living procs on this as well, which doesn't seem to be proccing, but this is a private server, so shoot me. But yeah, so you can just do this, and this would be your majority of your rotation. What you can also do is Flame Shock just before it, and you can consume the Focused Insight with it as well, so your Healing Rain will heal for even more. Now, you can get to a point where you're healing 5-6k HPS per target, and if everyone's taking damage, you can already see just how much that, this was a random dungeon or something that I did last time, and I was holding 7k HPS. The amount of healing that this build can do and just not run out of mana is insane. Now, a couple of little tidbits with this then. Obviously, I can put Earth Shield on the target, they'll take more healing. Unleash Elements only works on single target heals, okay? So if I had to panic heal someone, I can Unleash Elements, stick a Great Healing Wave, and that person will be nice and healthy. But overall, this build is just insanely good. So I'm going to queue up for a dungeon. Obviously, I am a little bit overgeared, but it's just to show you the gameplay and show you what this build can do. One thing I forgot to talk about actually was stat weights. So just while we're in the queue for a dungeon at the moment, in terms of stat weights and what you're looking for, you want enough spirit where you are capped, because you never want to be able to miss with your lightning bolt. You want then an equal balance of haste, mastery, and crit. Now, because we aren't running Ancestral Awakening, which is such a key crit talent, crit becomes quite devalued. So you can see at the moment I've got quite a lot of haste, quite a lot of mastery, and minimal crit. That's kind of how I would recommend it. Mastery is more for prog healing, where people are going to stand in stuff and need fast recovery heals. Haste is for more damage, as well as just more general overall healing. There are a couple of haste breakpoints. I don't know them off the top of my head. I can probably add them if I find them. In terms of more Riptides or more Healing Rain ticks, and they are going to be quite important, but generally, I mean, it's not that important. You just want to get a good chunk of haste to feel comfortable and good. So, yeah, that's kind of the overall stat weights. You don't have to worry about too much spirit after you hit the capped hit chance, but yeah. So I wanted to queue into an old heroic. It didn't work. I've been in the queue for probably around half an hour. It's just been a very long experience. So we've queued into the Dragon Soul dungeons. We don't ask questions. Yeah, so we are here. So, for some reason, none of my nameplates are working. That'll just make things harder. I'm definitely pulling. Oh, they pulled. Perfect. Oh, they pulled everything. Great! This is not exactly how I saw this going. Get over here and then panic heal. So I tend to heal everything with mouse over. So let's put this light on so it doesn't look like I'm a demon. Oh my god, bright lights. That's too bright. That's better. I tend to, like I said, do everything with mouse overs just because it makes my healing easier. This is a fight where it's going to be a little bit difficult to use the healing rain stuff, but we're still going to give it a go. I tend to... Come on. Okay. Apparently focus macros aren't working, so it's just like beta, this. DL. So keep an Earth Shield up on the tank. And, yeah. So using a mount over Earth Shield macro just to keep it up. I would normally do it with focus just because that makes life easier. And, yeah, let's hopefully get into the boss. Eventually. So, going to drop my totems. Hopefully they're in reach of everyone. They are. And let's get into it. Now, I know that this group seems to have had struggles. I've joined halfway through, so I'm actually just going to Bloodlust. So, first thing we're going to do, Healing Rain on the front group. And, like, you'll see, at the moment, I am just the DPS. Okay? I'm even going to drop a Fire Elemental totem. Which I hope is actually going to wander over there in a minute. Yeah, he is. Nice. So, just keeping Healing Rain up. You can see, my mana, 100% right now. Now, they're all actually going to stack up in a second. This is going to be amazing. So you can see someone took some damage. We're just going to throw a little Riptide on them. Keep them nice and healthy. Lovely little Healing Rain on the entire group. You can see, I'm pulling, like, decent numbers as well. It's not like I'm pulling insignificant numbers here. I can't actually hear him, though. Get another Healing Rain down. And you can see just how easy this is to heal right now. So we're going to put another Earth Shield back up. And everyone's grouping over here. So we'll just get a nice little Healing Rain down here. And you can see, look how easy this rotation is. And everybody is so healthy. And I don't even outgear this content. So we need to move and heal a little bit. So I've popped Spirit Walker's Grace. And boom. Like, super easy. No one was even close to dying. We can look at our healing overview. Healing Rain did 29%. Riptide did 28%. Healing Stream Totem did 17%. Earth Shield, like, everything was just so easy and done for me, basically. And we still put out a good amount of damage. So I'm not going to go into it too much. If you want more videos like this, let me know, and I can cover them. But generally, I mean, this is just how easy it is to play Atonement Shaman. So thanks for watching. More videos coming soon, and catch you later. Goodbye.